Hello students, welcome to channel Maths Mint by Kamlesh. It is a question for class 11 Maths, chapter 5 miscellaneous exercise, question number 2 from NCERT book. Chapter is complex number and quadratic equation. In question it is given for any two complex numbers z1 and z2, prove that two complex numbers are there z1 and z2. For that we have to prove that real part of z1 into z2, there is no sign between z and z2, so it is a product. So real part of the product of z1 and z2 will be equal to real part of z1 into real part of z2 minus imaginary part of z1 and imaginary part of z2. We know that in the general form complex number x equal to x plus iota y. This is the general form of complex number. So let two complex numbers are z1 and z2. So z1 will be x1 plus iota y1 and z2 will be x2 plus iota y2. Okay. Now a real part of z1 is x1 and imaginary part of z1 will be y1. Okay, and real part of z2 will be x2 and imaginary part of z2 will be y2. Okay, now z1 into z2 will be equal to z1 is equal to x1 plus iota y1 into z2 is equal to x2 plus iota y2. So we shall multiply it. So first of all x1 will multiply x2 plus iota y2 plus iota y will multiply again x2 plus iota y2. Okay, on multiplication it will be x1 x2, this will be iota x1 y2, again it will be iota x iota y1 iota y1 x2 y1 and again iota y1 y2. Okay, now x1 x2 plus iota x1 y2 plus iota x2 y1 and this will be iota y1 into y2. So it will be iota y1 iota iota x2 y1 iota into iota iota square y1 y2. Okay, here please see again, this is x1 into x2 x1 into x2 iota x1 y2, here iota x2 y1 iota into iota iota square y1 and y2, right? And this will be minus y1 y2 since iota square is equal to minus 1. Since iota square is equal to minus 1, so minus 1 multiplied by y1 into y2 will be minus y1 into y2. So now we shall consider this is, these two terms are with iota, so these two terms are imaginary part, and x1 x2 y1 y2 are without iota, so these are real parts. So we shall write first these two parts. So x1, sorry, y x2 minus y1 y2, and for this we shall take iota common, x1 y2 plus x2 y1, right? So what we have seen, this part is without iota, this is real part, and this is imaginary part, right? For this imaginary part we have nothing to do, because in question it is given real part of z1 and z2 equal to real part of z1 and z2 minus imaginary part z1 and imaginary part of z2. So this part we shall ignore, and we shall write it as x1 x2 minus y1 y2, right? And we know that x1 is real part of z1. So for this we can write real part of z1, x2 is real part of z2, and y is imaginary part of x1, and y2 is imaginary part of z2. So real part of z1 z2 will be equal to real z1 real z2 minus imaginary z1 into imaginary z2 proved.